All right, guys, we've got a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about today, right? Obviously, I'm going to talk a little bit about the charts and what's happening, and I want to show you some of the charts and some of the levels that I spoke about already. I want to show you that as well. Talk a little bit about Ethereum and other stuff and this and that. But more importantly, I want to really dedicate this video to what I did last night, right? You know, out of the blue, all of a sudden, randomly just said, right, okay, I'm going to just launch something, right? So I want to talk about that, get a lot of details in place so you guys understand what this is all about, right? Probably even add some music to this as well, because this is going to be epic, right? So anyway, let's get into this, right? So I'm going to start off with the charts, but let me just get the camera. I'm going to get the camera, right? And I'm going to put the camera here for you, and I'm going to flip it over, and I want to show you BTC, right? So today you can see BTC is right here today, right? We can see the price of BTC. The highest we went to was $42,130, right? But what I also want to point out is, if I just zoom in a little bit, right? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'll show you this, right? So this particular area, this box here, right? This where is it? Yeah, this particular indicator, not indicator, but it's a box that I drew, right? And I put a price there, and I want to show you the price as well, right? It's very important you see the price, right? So these prices are highlighted in light blue. You can see 41,822, 43,109, right? The upper level, right? So this is what I put in as my zone. And I said, look, this is the area where we will face a rejection, right? And this is exactly, you can see where we have faced that rejection, right? It's very important to understand rejections. And remember yesterday or the day before when I made that video and I said, guys, sometimes all you got to do is put a horizontal ray and boom, that's it. You've got your levels. You already know your levels. So that's what this is, right? Of course, you're probably asking, oh, what about the yellow lines and this and that? Well, the yellow line, that's something we spoke about for a long time. It's the $37,655 level. I've sent plenty of screenshots regarding this, and then we got the $48,000 level on the top as well. You can see I'm actually using the tracking on the camera to zoom in and out, right, guys? My hand's a bit shaky, but anyway, so that's what the chart is looking like today. And of course, you're probably wondering, what is this zone here? Well, this is, if we fail the $37,600 level, this particular zone that we've created as support right now, if we do fail this by any chance, then we may be coming back to this particular area. Hence why I've got this marked up, just to kind of show you guys that, look, guys, this is what I'm seeing right now. This is what the charts are showing me right now. But of course, if we do break past this area, then 48,000 is the next target, right? And there are plenty of reports out there from experts around the globe. In fact, CoinGlass is an expert. They just recently posted something as well, and they spoke about how every time institution comes, or when the institutions come in, they might pump it to around $50,000. So we're not far off. 48 and 50, do you know what? Not much of a difference, right? I'm not really looking at that. But again, they're doing it in a particular context, and I'm doing it in another context as well. So that's what you got to understand. Context is very important, right? So that's what it is. You know, that's that. Let's go into Ethereum. So I'm going to pop it into Ethereum. Where is it? Ethereum. Right, on Ethereum, you might see that I've got this area here that says do not ask, right? Don't ask me, don't ask me. Why don't ask me? And I'll tell you why don't ask me, right? Because if Ethereum fails this area, then the next kind of, not even major, but almost a major support zone, I would say, this is a zone, is this particular zone here, this area here, this price point here. So we could come and touch as low as 1488 and 1667, right? So again, guys, understand these numbers are very important, right? When I'm giving you these numbers, they're very important. So that's where we could potentially come down to, right? Of course, you know, we don't want it to come down, and if it doesn't come down, then we do have targets, guys. We do have targets. Who said I don't put targets, right? So I do put targets, and I have two levels for target, and this is an upper band and a lower band, right? So the lower target that I have is $2,948, and then the upper band is $3,583. That's probably where we're going to be facing the most volatility, right? So this area here, when we're looking at this, these are volatile areas. That's what we're looking at. Obviously, where we are right now, I'm not too concerned, because as long as the market stays above this threshold here, which is the $2,142 level, we're fine, right? And of course, every time we do pumps like this, when we're pumping on a, on a daily candle, we're pumping 1, 2, 3 to 4 days, it's okay to to expect and see, you know, a few red candles or a few things. Reason is, and I'll explain this to you as well, right, guys? The reason we get to see the wicks like this, big wicks like this, right? You know, when we start seeing, it's not big enough, but you know, hold on, I'm zooming. Look at me, I'm trying to get the tracking on the wrong one. Reason we see wicks like this is because there are idiots on this planet, right, who only think of one thing, is themselves, right? Idiots who go around opening leverage trade, large quantity of leverage trade, and end up losing money. So when they lose money, this is what happens, right? We can't pump up, we pump down because the market just got liquidated. So of course the bulls are still in play, which is why we're still holding that line, which is okay, right? That's the reality, guys. When we see wicks, when we see a dump, an area where people are dumping from, you got to understand why this is happening. This is happening because end of the day, what do you call this, the idiots that like to trade are basically doing the wrong things, right? So a second, let me just switch the camera over and I'll put you back here, right? So now that's out of the way, I want to talk a little bit, like, for example, you know, trading. So on trading, we talk about how we have rejection areas, we have resistance areas, right, where we're going to face some resistance. And a lot of the time, the data that we will give you, like, and when I'm saying we, I'm talking about analysts, traders, and this and that, right? When you end up giving a data, what is it based on? That's what's important. What is it based on? So normally I just say, guys, it's the easiest way for anybody, any layman, easiest way to go and track the market and see the probabilities and have a calculation for themselves is very simple. You look at where the peaks are. So wherever a peak happens, you just draw a line, right? So I have a peak, I draw a line. I have a peak down, I draw a line, right? And that would be my support zone, and this would be my resistance zone. It's very simple, right? So you do that. But of course, you got to find multiple points, and it's got to be a straight line. When you have a goddamn straight line, you're sorted. The other lines that you see are slightly like in an angle up or angle down. These are your trend lines. They're not your support and resistance lines. So please do understand this, right? That's how we identify these areas. And of course, when we're identifying areas, we're also looking at previous history to see and connect the dots, right? Because you have to connect the dots. So when we look at previous history, that's when we start moving things forward. So that's how I'm looking at this anyway. And you know, the other thing is you might wonder, like, oh, how do you end up kind of projecting or predicting these numbers? I'm not predicting anything. There's no such thing as predicting. We don't predict. I'm not projecting anything. I'm not a freaking, you know, wizard or whatever. I'm going to wave my wand, like, let's wave this pen, something's going to happen. No, there's no Harry Potter business here. The point here is most traders, right? Almost all traders, I would say, think alike, right? The only difference is what decision we end up making, right? So when we hit that threshold, when we go and hit that resistance line, the difference is, do we push from here, go long to go further, or do we short it here, right, and go down? That's the only difference that we have. We are the long or we are the short, right, when we're doing leverage, obviously. Now, if the shorts win, then the market's going to collapse and all the longs are going to get liquidated and the shorts are going to be winning all the way down, right? And if the longs win, then the opposite happens. The shorts get liquidated and all of a sudden now everyone's coming down again because now the buying is happening. That's why we end up seeing rejections or candle wicks, big wicks, down or up, doesn't matter. This is one of the reasons why it's not totally, oh, people are just dumping now, selling now. Actually, majority of the time, it's not even dumping. People are not dumping. Even people go and buying spot and selling, that doesn't make much of a difference. The leverage traders do. They make a lot of difference, right? I'll talk about differences. You know, when people buy on spot, now this is a new data. I can't confirm this, but this is what Glassnode has published, right? Glassnode, they've published this. And I did share a video on Discord for Coinburu, his channel. I shared it because he done a really nice, detailed, he paraphrased it nicely, right? Anyway, that's the thing. But I'm going to give you the short version of this. So what he said, and it makes total sense, right? When somebody goes and buys on a spot, right? You buy on spot. Every dollar you buy on spot would reflect as $3 in BTC. That's crazy, right? So every time someone goes and purchases $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, the price reflects it as $3,000. So that's where these pumps are coming in. So of course, when the price eventually balances a little bit, you might see a little bit of dip. So I'm just giving a hypothetical thing here. So that's that, guys. You know, but when you see stuff like this, you got to move over to a higher time frame. Remember, when you see the market on a daily and it's overbought, right, and you're panicking, or even oversold and you're panicking, zoom in to the chart. So take note, zoom into the chart to see what the 4 hourly, 8 hourly, 12 hourly, 6 hourly, 2 hourly, 1 hourly, those candles, what are the smaller time frames indicating? Yes, we're overbought, but do they show still enough momentum in the market? If they do, don't panic, right? You can still go on another day and then happy days, right? That's that. But when you're not seeing the market oversold or overbought, the market seems to be absolutely fine, then you zoom out. You zoom out. You're like, okay, hold on. We're seeing a bit of volatility. Let's zoom out. Let's go into a weekly candle. Let's go into a 2 weekly candle, whatever, and go and see what they are indicating. I would say weekly normally. Go to a weekly candle to go and see what are they saying. Are they bullish? Are they oversold? Are they overbought? If they are also oversold and overbought, I've got something to panic about, right? You must have seen some of my videos recently. If you haven't, go and watch it. It's all there in the channel somewhere. But the point is look, guys, I have told you guys that BTC, everything has been indicating overbought weekly. So that is a danger sign for us, right? But that could still carry on. I mentioned this as well. It could still carry on. I even gave you a timeline, right? I'm not going to repeat myself here every single time. You want to go and know what the timeline is, go and watch my videos. Last 3-4 videos, I've been mentioning it, right? But the point is this is what we're looking at. This is what the market is displaying to us. Nothing else matters. And I've mentioned this many times. News, you know, influencers, this, that, whatever. People pump hype. None of that matters. It doesn't really matter. What matters is how many coins are there, how many coins are being hodled by people, and how many are actually available to trade, right? Now, remember, I personally remember, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the balance on exchange was 1.9 million BTC. 1.9 million BTC, right? That's what the balance on exchange was, right? Now, all of a sudden, give me a second, bloody hell, I hate this. Right, now all of a sudden, my Google Assistant just woke up. But all of a sudden now, I've got 1.8. So I've seen on the charts, there's 1.8 million BTC and decreasing very fast. That's 1 million coins just vanished, right? Vanished as in like people put it on the secured wallet, whatnot. You got to understand, and you got to wonder why. People are not willing to sell. So the available amount is what you're seeing the entire market price structure based on, not the hodling amount, right? Yeah, the hodler, he may have some prices, the valuation showing there, but they're just hodling. They don't really care. A lot of people are still holding. There are wallets that are holding for 10 years. Can you imagine that? Wallets holding for 10 years. I know a few personal people who are holding for 5 years plus now. They haven't sold. They haven't sold, right? I know people from back in the days, right? Like I'm talking in 2016, 2015, 2016. They're still hodling. Can you imagine that? They're still hodling. They haven't sold, right? So think about that. A lot of people who have bought BTC, for them, it was more of a savings account. They're like, you know what? I was going to put 5 grand in an ISA account, or I was going to put it in a savings account. Rather than putting it in an ISA account or a savings account or whatnot, right? I might as well just leave it in BTC, right? I don't plan to use it for the next 5 years, 6 years, whatever. I'm going to put it in BTC, leave it. That's my little savings account. When the time is right, I'll plan ahead and I'll then withdraw it. So obviously they're not stupid, but they put money in that they don't really need, right? That's what they've done. There are a few guys from 2020, I remember. There's 2 guys actually, I remember. They bought Ethereum around $200, $300, $400. I think it was not, yeah, it was $400 or $500. They bought some Ethereum. They're still hodling. Good luck to them, right? They're still hodling. And the guy's like, dude, I couldn't afford a BTC that time. I didn't have enough cash. Like, he didn't have enough disposable cash. So he goes, look, I didn't have enough cash to burn. I bought some Ethereum, you know, and I found that that was in my budget. I bought it. I just held it. You know, he goes, I saw it go all the way up. I didn't sell it. I didn't even, you know, think about selling it because I want to hold it for a long time. So he's one of those, he's holding it for 10 years apparently, if not even more. So think about that, right? So now that we got that out of the way, charts and everything, right? Let's talk about the craziness that happened yesterday. This is why I want to add the music, and this is why the music is probably playing somewhere around right now. And I'm just going to stick some music and then just repeat the life out of it, right? This is epic. So I've been kind of like, you know, I've talked about this on another video as well. When I'm idle, when I've got nothing better to do, right? Like right now, I've got literally nothing better to do. Literally nothing better to do. Hence why I'm going to go out and do something, zone out a little bit, right? But the point is, I've got nothing better to do. So what am I doing? I'm making a video. think about it. I'm making a video, right? I'm not even driving, because normally I drive when I'm making a video. I'm kind of close to my destination, but I've got enough time. I've got nothing to do. You know, if I'm an hour late, 2 hours late, 3 hours late to where I want to go, doesn't make any difference. They still charge me the same amount of money. Everything's still the same, right? So it doesn't make any difference. I've got nothing better to do. So I'm sitting here, I'm making this, right? So I'm sitting there anyway, idle hands, got nothing better to do. Excuse me. Got nothing better to do. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go on CoinMarketCap. Right, so I went on I like to go on CoinMarketCap every now and then. I went on CoinMarketCap. I'm looking at coins. I'm like, okay, let me look at a few data, a few this. 2 million coins, guys. I haven't gone through the list. Believe me, the list is so long. It might take me a decade to go through the entire freaking list, right? You know, with the limited time that I have, probably longer. Probably take me 20 years. Anyway, and it's growing. I'm playing catch up basically. So I'm like, let's have a look at some of these coins and see what these coins have done or what these coins are potentially going to do. So I started looking at a few projects. And 2 specific projects I looked at, I was shocked. I was shocked. I was annoyed. I was literally sitting there cursing them. Let me explain this to you. I'm going through the list. I find this coin, $100 million market cap. Okay, pumped around 30% in the last couple of days. I'm like, wow. Okay, let's deep dive into this, right? I'm not looking at their website. I don't care what they promise. I don't care if they're promising me a ticket to the moon. None of that matters. I don't care what the technology is. I don't care what blockchain it's built on, right? I want to see where the markets are. Are the markets for real? So I click the market. I see 2 markets, 2 centralized exchanges. Hold up. Okay, let me go back to the contract. I see it's a contract. I see it's an ERC20 contract. Okay. So I click the ERC20 contract to see how many wallet holders are. I see about 100 wallet holders. Out of 100, the top 4 wallet holders are like 2 whales and 2 exchanges. And that's like 80% of the supply. I'm like, hold on. What's going on here? What's going on here? How can a project have 100 million market cap, go directly to a centralized exchange, and the 4 wallets containing 80% of the entire supply is 2 exchanges and 2 whales, and the remaining I don't even know where the hell it is, right? How is that possible? And when you start looking at the number of holders, minuscule. Nobody. What's going on here? So okay, fine. I'm gonna, like me as usually, I would just ignore that. I was like, fuck it, I can't be bothered, right? This is nonsense. Left it. Going down my list, I see another one. This one has, I think it was 700 or 800 holders. 700 or 800 holders. Okay. Same story again. $100 million, no problem. I see whales. There's 1 whale has like 50% of the entire supply. I see 1 exchange has about 35% of the entire supply. That's like 85% gone. I see another exchange with something. Fine. I don't see any Uniswap, any PancakeSwap, none of that business. It's an ERC20 token. It's on 2 different blockchains. It's on Ethereum and it's on BNB, BSC, right? But I don't see any decentralized exchanges. Again, I'm like, oh, hold on. Hit that brake, guys. This is not happening. This is nonsense, right? What's going on right now? How come I've just found 2 coins that don't have any DEX trading at all? How did these coins even get there, and how did the market cap come there? What's going on? How did they launch? Well, you go to their website, you see everything. Oh, we had a fair launch, we had this, we had a fair launch with what? With what? If you had a fair launch, then the 600-700 holders you got, they should all have an equal amount, equal distribution. You see what I mean? I'm getting angry right now. Why? Because this is what it is. Furious. What the hell is going on here? So I'm watching and I'm like, okay. And then I'm seeing the same exchanges. I'm like, oh, okay, now I can put my finger on this because that makes sense right now. This means that these centralized exchanges are part of this crew, group, whatever you want to call it. And they're launching tokens into their exchanges. And they probably have the means to put it on other exchanges later on once the hype comes in. That's what they're doing. So this is an inside job. Exchanges are probably responsible, and I'm now, my mind is exploding. I'm like over the moon. I'm like, okay, this is not going to make any sense to me. Like, you know, I just went ballistic. I thought to myself, that means that 2 million coins that we have, I could easily say at least half of them are exchange coins. means the exchanges themselves are invested or at least involved in creating these coins, because they're creating demand with all sorts of shit, because it's all about capturing more and more money. But if they can list it on their own exchange, why wouldn't they do it? And I think that's exactly what they've been doing, right? And I'm sure now if I go through the list, now that I've picked up on that, I can go and find others. And then I thought about one a few years ago, Bybit launched a token called GM, Good Morning Token, right? Which shitcoin, worth nothing, right? 0.000 whatever, infinity. Point is, Good Morning coin. And the only thing it has a very basic website, and it says, this is dedicated to a friend of mine who used to say good morning every day. That's it. This is a coin celebrating him. I'm like, what? Okay, fine. So, you know, whatever it was, I think I got some airdrop or some nonsense like this. I can't remember what it was. It was on Bybit anyway. We can't trade in the UK. We can't use Bybit anymore. But the point is, it was there. And I'm thinking, it was only Bybit. Now it makes sense. Now it makes total sense. So these exchanges have been involved in creating coins and listing it on their own centralized exchanges to show value. Because people value centralized stuff more than anything else, because they think it's legit. No, you're not. It's not legit. This is how they're cheating you. They don't give a shit. They're just dumping it on you. And what better way to do it than to put it on an exchange where it's a one-way ticket, right? A one-way ticket. You go in and you sell or you buy and they collect all the funds. They've just sold to you, right? And when people see the pumps and pumps happening, they jump in as well. Of course, they're going to be more bag holders than actual profit holders, right? But the point is, the profit holders are going to be the guys who actually created it in the first place. So I was furious. I was like, this is just ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, my mind just clicked, and I was like, fuck centralization. I can't stand centralization. There should be no centralization. This centralized bullshit, I can't have it anymore. Fuck all of this. I'm going to be only looking at proper 100% decentralized nonsense. And I'm not a big fan of decentralized or centralized. There's a reason. So centralized, yes, the very reasons I've gave you, they give you that illusion of being a legit coin. And yes, a lot of them do turn out to be legit. I always say this, if it's not a blockchain, it's a shitcoin, full stop, right? And shitcoins can become great coins, right? They can become great coins, great platforms, right? Once they succeed. If they don't succeed, they're nothing. They're just a failure. I've seen projects who've raised $200 million, $300 million through exchange offerings, right? So they've directly listed with the exchange. But of course, they had their smart contracts and whatever, and they're also having liquidity on Uniswap and whatnot. But the point is they've gone through the exchange, they've launched it, they've raised $200 million, and then they went to like 99.99% down, completely like almost to zero. But the decimal points just changed, like from +1, like 1.0 to 0.000, whatever. That's happened quite often, right? And then the projects are still there, because now you've got a whole bunch of bag holders who are still hoping to get it back up, like when it comes back, or we'll sell it and we'll make a little bit of money. I'm not going to give you names here, but the point is 2 million coins, or sorry, $2 million or 200 million, actually that particular coin I'm talking about had $200 million. So they're the teams there, they're developing it even further. It's come back up a little bit by a few percent, but it's still 97% below its original price. They still have the 200 mil that you gave to them, and it's still 97% below. Think about it. So even now, if you decide to sell your shitcoin to them and they buy all of it up, they gobble it all up, well, they can pump the price up by doing that, and it won't cost them 200 million to do this. And they can sell it back to you and make another 200 million. Does that make sense, right? So that's what they can do. So anyway, that's a centralized thing. That's just a little bit of a theory there, right? Listen, guys, when you're watching me, you gotta watch it with a pinch of salt, right? You gotta have a cup of coffee, make sure it's bitter, it's black, no sugar. That's how you're gonna really enjoy this content, right? So, what was I saying? That's centralized. Now, decentralized is a different thing, right? With the decentralized, because there's nobody to, nobody as oversight or anything like this, there's no one there to regulate or whatever, you get a lot of scammers, right? 99% of them are scammers, right? They'll come there to scam the shit out of you. They come there to take your money, your BNB, your Ethereum, your this, your that, whatever. They just want your money. That's all they want. They have no intention of creating a good project. And now, the ones that do this, like, to the highest level and rinse and repeat non-stop, are the ones who are creating some of the best quality websites, design and this and that, because they're making you happy. When you go and see a massive website, you, ooh, this is beautiful, right? When they show you wow, and they're selling you, like someone recently was, they're selling a token and it's hyped up quite a bit, something about interplanetary whatever. I was like, what? You're creating a meme coin to power societies in another planet. Let's get there first. But of course, people won't see that, right? People will still go there. And it's all wow, wow, right? I'm like, no. So I looked at all of that and I was like, fuck this, right? This is bullshit. So I've tried to find a middle ground, right? So I said, fuck it, I'm going to launch a coin. I'm going to call it No Central, because, you know, the scammers are all the same people. They just constantly rinse and repeat. The centralized guys, they're all rinse and repeat. Same thing, right? They're all scammers, in my opinion, and they're all centralized, in my opinion. It's not an individual, right? I know people, individuals, right, who have tried to launch projects. There was one guy, he came to me not long ago. They were launching some very similar to Rumble, but crypto-based, decentralized crypto-based, similar to Rumble. Came to me for investment. He said, look, you know, we're looking for about 20 grand and this and that, whatever. I said, fine, I'll give you 20 grand, but if these certain things meet, right? It was 20 grand, I'll give you 20 grand, but if these certain criteria meet, I'll give it to you. Lucky I didn't give it to him because his project failed. And he didn't fail because of them. They were genuine people. They were genuine people, right? I know them. I sat with them. I social with them. I know where they live, everything. Genuine people, you know, genuine developers and this and that. But the problem was, or the development team was different, but the main guy, he was really genuine, right? So he's a computer architect. So he doesn't really know software as much, but he's an architect. So he can design programs, right? Anyway, so this particular fella, they tried it. And these are genuine normal people. When normal people are trying to launch a project, even if it's a freaking shitcoin, there's a humble beginning. They genuinely want to do something. But problem is because they don't have the wow, because the scammers are doing all the wows and everybody else is doing all the wow. They don't have the traction in the market. And they end up losing the whole thing and, you know, demoralized basically, and then they just don't do it. So this guy, he did it. He lost a few £1,000s in liquidity because someone came in and basically rugged them, right? Didn't rug them, but what happened was they gave away some tokens and someone decided to dump all the tokens and clean out all the ETH or whatnot and go away. So that's what they did. But yeah, it's so fun in games, you know, so fun in games. That's what happened with them. So the situation is, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, right, I want to create a no central coin, no centralized, like, you know, no centralization. So I thought no central sounds better. You know, it can be used on multiple different things. So no central, that's what I called it. Coin ticker, no, right? I said, fuck it, no, it's going to be no. So every time you say no, BTC, no, Ethereum, no, the pairs, right? It's just amazing, right? USDC, no. That's the pair. Imagine this, right? In the pair, everything you've got to do, no. So it's a bit of fun, right? And the coin is fun, right? The coin is fun. And I'll give you a little bit of disclaimer at the end, but let me just get through these kind of little details, right? Because it's quite fun. So I looked at it, I was like, okay, it's going to be no. That's what I'm going to do. Then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, do I do 21 million coins? Do I do 21 billion coins? Do I do 21 trillion coins? Or maybe, you know, forget that, let me do 100 billion coins, 100 million coins, 100 trillion coins, whatever. I kept on thinking like this, right? And then I kind of thought, nah, I don't want to make this into a meme coin. Maybe a meme coin project later on, but this is not a meme coin, right? This is for a very small community that I have on Discord and YouTube and other social media platforms, right, that I interact with, right? So I have a very small community. I mean, when I say small, I would say 500-600 people in total. It's not the biggest community out there, but it's you know, 500-600 people that I can actually, you know, they can call me, I can call them, and we can talk to each other. It's that kind of a relationship, basically. So I thought, okay, that's what it's going to be. But then I wanted to be fair, and I said, right, I can make a coin and drop it to everybody. That's easy. That's the easy part, right? And I'm about to prove it. That's the easy part. You create a coin, you launch a coin, you put it on the blockchain, you do whatever you need to do, and now I can just airdrop it to everybody, stick some liquidity and create value. Boom, we're done, we're ready. That's the easy part. That's the easy part. But I wanted more users, so I thought, okay, let's just give away 50% of this and then probably lock the other 50% for liquidity or whatnot and anything, right? Just do that and see how this thing works, right? Put this in motion and see how this works, right? Because remember, I'm not a hypocrite, right? If I say an altcoin is a shitcoin, I mean it. An altcoin is a shitcoin. This is a shitcoin. This is a shitcoin. But it can be something else only if the traction and the momentum is there. It can be something else. 50 million coins, right? 50% of the supply is allocated to be given away, right? So I want to give away 10,000 coins to 5,000 holders. That's what I'm hoping for, 5,000 holders. Of course, I'm going to have a cap. So I haven't started the cap yet, but I'm going to soon announce this is the last day. After that day, nobody can join. So if by that time there's 2,000 people, by all means, 2,000 people will get the exact quantity that I've mentioned. They're not going to get 1,000 more. No, you've been allocated 10,000. Each account gets 10,000. That's it, right? So you get your 10,000 coins. Now what happens? A lot of people, majority will be greedy. What do they want to do? Oh, as soon as this coin sees a little bit of value, I want to dump, I want to sell. So majority of the people are going to go and dump. That's guaranteed. They're going to dump. They just got free 10,000 free coins, right? Valued at like almost 1 Ethereum. So end of the day for them, they're looking at it like, oh, this is time to dump. We're going to make all this money. Depends. So these are the guys who will kind of ruin the project. But that's when things get interesting, because people who actually end up picking up those coins after they've dumped, let them dump. That's what I say, let them dump, right? If they dump and then people pick up later on, well, they're the ones going to regret it. The people who dumped are going to regret it, because that's when the cycle starts. When do I start? When do I get any coins? I'm going to airdrop coins to everybody, but apart from myself. I'm not getting anything, because I don't want anything from you. I want you to dump 50 million coins, because I want to buy all your 50 million coins. Now, I spoke about a little bit of a disclaimer. I want to talk about a disclaimer right now. That's just me having a bit of laugh, right? Anyway, listen guys, so this is the disclaimer. This particular coin, no, did I just forget my own fucking hell? My head is messed up, right? I need more coffee. No central. My coin, no central, or our coin, no central. So this coin that I've created, completely out of impulse, completely for fun, for anger, right? There's a few of those mixed emotions all together, chucked in and pressed the button. It's a mint, right? So minted it, 100 million tokens. That's all it's ever going to be. But what I want to tell you, I have no financial interest from you. Hence why I'm giving away 50% of the coins for free. Hence why I'm going to be providing liquidity myself, right? Now, of course, there may be liquidity fees and earning and whatnot. Well, guess what? I've even rectified that as well. My personal wallet does not earn anything. I've dropped that over to the foundation wallet. So there's a foundation wallet. I've transferred everything over to a foundation wallet, and you can track every single thing, because a lot of you guys already have the contract address. In fact, everybody can see the contract address on Twitter. So you can see the contract address, go and check it, go and click it, and you can see the movement. You can see 100 million tokens arrived to the creator's account. Created, then transferred that over to another account, a fresh account, right? That's the foundation wallet. That's the one you need to track, not my personal wallet. It doesn't matter what I've got in my wallet. What you should be looking at is that wallet. So that wallet has all the coins now, and that's the one that's going to be distributing the tokens and whatnot, XYZ. So you can actually see my personal wallet to that. I want to buy. That's what I want to do. I just want to buy, because that's where the value is. I want to create value. I don't want to be taking value out of the project. Now, it all depends on people. If people come together and create value, right? So part of this disclaimer is, look guys, there is no, I have no financial interest from you, and you should also not have any financial expectation, all right? Any expectations of profit or whatever. I don't care about SEC, none of that nonsense. I'm just being honest with you here right now. I don't care about FCA and this and that, right? I'm having a bit of fun. I create a coin, so what, right? What matters is, do I want anything from you? I don't want anything from you, right? I don't want anything from you. What matters is, do I give you any financial expectation that, guys, we're going to get a ticket to the moon? No, I'm not giving you any of that. I've told you just moments ago on this same video, I said to you, and by the way, this is not edited, this is a one shot, right? So moments ago, I just said to you as well that most people are going to be dumping. Let them dump. Let them dump. That's the expectation. The expectation is going to be total annihilation, total loss, total loss. That's the expectation, right? So Other than that, I'm handing it over to the community. You do what you need to do. I'm not giving you any financial advice here. I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I a professional, nor am I a development company, none of that business, right? But you want to make it successful, go ahead, you do that. You are free to go and provide liquidity. You go on Uniswap, V3, get a pool, start a pool up. You're there. You can do that. And I do request community members and everybody to come together. And if you are willing to put liquidity, that would be really, really nice, right? Any liquidity providers out there, that would be very nice. I will happily come along and discuss something with you. We can make some sort of an arrangement, but that would be really, really nice, because, and this is like kind of my disclaimer, guys. Look, listen, no money, don't want anything from you, and don't expect anything from the coin. This is purely for fun and a social experiment. But if you do want to make this successful, you got to work on it. You got to work on it. I don't want to be like the guy who failed with his video project. At least we don't have anything backing it up right now. And let me talk about this as well, right? This is really important as well. I personally have no plans right now. I have no plans to develop this any further. That's it. However, if the project succeeds, has traction, if the foundation wallet receives some funding from trading and this and that, right, then that will be deployed into development. But that will be mentioned via announcements. Do I have a roadmap? Yes, I do. I do have a roadmap, but the roadmap is not valid. The roadmap, every roadmap that I've ever seen are promises and everyone trying to deliver something to you. That's the easy part. I don't even know why some of these guys take so long to deliver it. But what I'm going to do is be real with you. The roadmap is very simple. Here's the project. Launch the project. Done. Right? Project launch. Put the project on X, Twitter, whatever, social media. Done. Launch a Discord server. Done. Right? Get the community together. Already happening. Right? I think we've got 400 or 500 members since I opened the Discord server like 2 hours ago. Right? So we got that happening as well. So we've got members coming in, we've got people who are interested for the airdrops and everything. We've got all of those. Everything's happening right now. So that's done. What haven't I done? I haven't done a website. Why? Because I don't want to show you a fancy website. If I could, I would put a black and white website with a bunch of writing on it. That's it. That's all you're getting. What you see is what you get. Right? I'm not going to promise, oh, I'm going to build an exchange out of this. I'm going to build this out of this. I'm going to build that out of this. Right? None of that, because I'm not going to invest all that money to make promises to you guys only so that I can take money off you. It's not going to happen. If the project becomes successful and has enough funds in there, then the project will pay for itself. Then we start the next stage. Okay, now let's build it out. Now, talking about building it out, you're probably wondering, well, what have I done to build it up? I'll tell you this, right? The smart contract that was used to create this coin is fully ERC compliant. That means this coin, you can do anything that any other project can on this planet. Right? I mean, it's so crazy. How crazy can I say this is? This is so crazy. You can fork an Ethereum blockchain, have 0 minting coins, have this coin as the reward for that. That's crazy. You can use this coin to pay for specific things. In the future, you can convert this coin to any EVM chain coin or anything that's available on, say, Uniswap or SushiSwap. You can bridge it to any EVM chain. Think about that. You can bridge this coin to any. So it's all done, right? And the code, you can take it and you can now connect it to any website and do multiple other things. You can build an entire platform out of it. So it's the most robust type of code that you can have. It has everything. All the functions are there. It's fully upgradable, right? Fully upgradable. It's burnable, right? You can actually burn tokens on it. You can mint more tokens on it. You can do whatever you want on it, right? So imagine all the options were open and it's been done in that way so that everyone can see the most robust type, right? The most robust type of a blockchain that one could, not blockchain, but a token one could create was done. Why? Because then we've left no room for something missing. Oh, we've got to do this, we're going to do that. Oh, I got to get another developer to come and recode this. No, none of that. We don't need nobody to come and recode anything. The coin's there. All we need now is another smart contract to interact with it. That's the whole beauty about ERC, right? So worst case scenario, if I need to like now launch and say for example we launch a platform, and then all we do is we just stick another smart contract in there and tell the smart contract what the role of this particular coin is. Is it used for fees? Is it used for gas? What is it used for? Is it used for entry, like website entry, Discord entry, right? Or you can only enter this particular part of the server if you hold that coin. You prove you hold one of this coin, you can get entry. Is this like a DAO voting token? Yes, a lot of things can be done with this because it's the absolute ERC20 standard. That's the beauty. So the reason I'm saying all of this to you guys, so you understand what this is. And again, I'm not urging you. I don't really care if you don't want to support it. That's all me. But you want to see this support, you getting this for free and you want to see this support, got to put your back into it. You got to work on it. You got to work on it. There are ways, you got to work on it. You're the only people who can make this successful, not me. But I'm being totally transparent with you, right? I'm being as real as it gets. I'm not promising you the world. I'm not giving you none of that business, but I'm just telling you what it is. And I've given you my disclaimer. That's what it is. I'm not going to promise anything until something becomes real. Then I can move on to the next step. But one thing I will promise everybody, I am going to launch a meme coin. I am definitely going to launch a meme coin. There's something I looked at. I'm going to definitely launch a meme coin. And why not, right? Everyone's going to feel like they're a whale. They'll have billions and billions of tokens for, God knows, $20, $30, right? Something silly like that, right? But that's going to be a different project. That's going to be a different, but a meme, that meme coin project is going to be a big project, right? But anyway, I've said a lot of things on YouTube, on my social medias, other stuff, personal groups, chat groups, and this and that. I've said a lot of things, and I know a lot of people probably don't agree with me. I know a lot of people probably, I've probably disappointed, because I've made promises that I can't keep. Some things are in my hand, in my power, I can control. Other things are not, hence why I can't, I've failed on some of the promises. That's why I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to give you the promises anymore. I'm not going to tell you about this anymore. I'm not going to tell you about that anymore. I'm just going to freaking do it. I'm just going to do it. There's no other way. Just do it. Do it, and then see if the community is ready to take this further. Just do it. See if the community is going to come and take this further. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Well, no, I'm actually looking at the chart right now. BTC is currently at $41,490. Let's see where it goes. Let's have a look at this other coin that I've been looking at. Let's see what we got here. Okay, it's holding strong. There's another coin I've been looking at, kind of not promoted, but I've kind of spoke about it. It's currently hit another all-time high, so currently hit the 30 cents and 74 whatever, right? But the point is, it's another all-time high. So again, it's kind of doing its new price discovery, because a local all-time high, I'll call it, right? Because the launch price was $1. The launch price was $1, and of course it dumped, right? And now we're above that level, so it's doing a new price discovery. So some of these new coins that are doing price discovery, there's not really much you can say, because right now there is no support, there is no resistance. So what I'm doing is I'm actually using a Fibonacci level, a Fibonacci retracement tool to tell me what's the likelihood of the highs and the lows based on the Fibonacci sequence, because market pretty much works on the same kind of a sentiment, even though we don't actually intend to do it. So enough of charts anyway. I'm not going to talk about that, but guys, I hope this all made sense. I hope this all made sense. I hope you understand why I launched No Central. I'm fed up of centralized control on either side, whether it be DEX, whether it be SEX, centralized control, right? It's not happening. I don't want to see that anymore. So that's why I thought, you know what, if people can't be honest, at least I'm honest with myself. So at least I can launch it, right? And then if other people in the community are honest as well, they can take this further. That's all I'm saying. I'm no Satoshi, but that's what I'm saying, right? End of the day, you know, we're not here trying to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. But let's do it the right way. The right community, right people, right way. Let's see where we can take this. This is going to be really, really interesting. So, other than that, enjoy my coffee. Like, share, subscribe. All right, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. And if you have watched me until 45 freaking minutes right now, yeah, no, I just froze, just for the sake of it. I know you were going to say, this guy's going to say something. No, I'm not. Thank you very much for watching me for the last 45 minutes. Adios, my amigos.